Hey, this is a movie to go over some of the manual controls on the CX350 camera. If you haven't watched the video on the exposure triangle, you might want to watch that first because that'll give you an idea of the concepts in play. I have another camera set up over here. So what I'm going to try to do is show you the detailed switches where things are. What I'm not going to do in this video is show you the actual effect on the image. I don't have a way to capture that at the moment, but this should give you an idea where the switches are. And then when you're hands-on with the camera, I'll ask you to go ahead and experiment so you can see these changes on the image. Let me show you. Okay, here we see the camera. And the first thing we want to be aware of for manual control is this governor switch that I've pointed out before. It's right down here. So to get any of this going, you want to be in manual control. And caveat, side note, exactly what falls under auto and manual is controlled in the menus. So it's also a good idea to do a menu reset or use the settings card, the JSON1 settings that I've provided for you. So once we switch into manual, we should have manual control over all three elements of the exposure triangle. That is iris, shutter speed, and gain. So let me show you where each one of those are. Iris is generally thought of as the most important one. And notice there's this little button here that is iris. What that does, even in manual control, is toggle between automatic and manual. And you'll see this with the button, before you press the button, you'll see like a little STD standard and some other numbers around there. And then when you press it, you'll see just the regular f-stop and f number. So once you have that in true manual, it is this back ring, the one closest to the camera body, that you adjust the iris on. When this is set up properly, you'll both see the image darken and lighten, and you will see the f-stop number change on the viewfinder. So toggle auto on and off with the button, and then adjust iris with the back ring. Okay, the second one is shutter speed, and it can be a little tricky because it gets into sort of this multi-select wheel here, which does a lot of different camera functionality. Notice this pushes in and turns. It's kind of like an old school BlackBerry wheel. Okay, it's a button and it's a wheel, push and turn. And then this button will set up the shutter itself. We'll make this go to shutter. So you push this and you make sure you see the word shutter, and then you push this, it will turn orange, and you can adjust the shutter speed. And when you're done, you push it again. So a combination of this to cue up the shutter itself, and then this to adjust it. So then the last one's gain, and that one is just on this switch here. So generally we keep it in low gain, that's sort of normal, and we can move it down to medium and high. You will see the image drastically brighten when you move to medium and high gain. So look out for that. And in general, unless it's a special circumstance, I recommend keeping that on low gain, and also in some cases taking manual control of gain to keep it on low, because in dark conditions, that gain will pump up automatically, and it's not that attractive of an image. Okay, that's a look at the controls. Two things coming out of this. One, you have to try this stuff. What I just showed you is literally where your fingers go. It doesn't connect to the eye and the brain. That's what you're going to do in class and on your own. Second is a reminder about the menus. There's a lot of control in the menus, but with power comes great responsibility, right? So even say that gain switch, what is low, middle, and high? What is the actual numbers of the gain boost? That's in the menus. You can program low, middle, and high gain. You can program it so that one aspect stays on manual where the others go to automatic and things like this. So I've set up those settings to create sort of an even platform so everyone knows what to expect. But know that if you're an advanced user, you can take more control in the menus. And if you're a beginning user, make sure to go ahead and set those settings with the settings card, or else it does get confusing. Okay, we'll do more in class.